The high-rise birdhouse, guys. Look at this. Very colourful, isn't it? 4 birdhouses all stacked on top of each other. What a great project to make, guys. So come on a journey and we're going to make this high-rise, colourful birdhouse right now. What a great looking birdhouse, guys. It really stands out, doesn't it? The stackable birdhouse, guys. Very colourful, isn't it? I start by drawing the bottom birdhouse up on a bit of MDF. But the bottom birdhouse is just a normal, small birdhouse with a hole for the birds and a perch. And then once we got that made, then we can start the stackable ones. But they have to have the ridge cut out of them in the bottom, the stack on top of the other one. Again, I don't explain things well, but you've seen how they all work. Okay, so we'll just start with making a standard birdhouse. Just cutting the 12mm ply now. And I cut it into slabs as I do. I like slabbing things up. They're oversized slabs. And I recut them as I go. And cutting the roof now on a 45-degree angle. This is for the bottom birdhouse only at the moment. Cutting the angle on the small saw. Small saw works really well, I like it a lot. And drilling the bird hole. And I'm an idiot as normal. Didn't time the drill up enough. And look at that. Should have clamped it down. No, the winter's day in Melbourne, guys. That's why I got my vest on today. A little bit chilly it is. I've got all the components made for the bottom birdhouse now. I've drilled the bird hole in the front, and I've also drilled the hole for the perch. But I've made the perch. I didn't think this is 1/2 inch ply. I didn't think that a bit of dowel and 1/2 inch is going to be too stable. I thought it might break off eventually. I put a backing ply on the perch, and that will just slip through the face, and I'll screw it on from behind, so they'll be nice and solid now. And I got all my bits and pieces. So except for the roof, I'm ready to put this together. Because as we go up the chain, the top's got to be the bottom and all this sort of stuff. So we'll put the bottom one together now, except for the roof, I think. I got to work all this out of my head, but everything's got to be painted. Everything's basically got to be able to come apart to be painted, but through all different colours. So I got to work out how everything's going to go back together as I go up the chain. But it's a lot of fun, guys. It's a lot of fun. All right. Okay, I put the bottom house together now, except for the roof, I think. All right, here I am just glue and pins. That's all I need. The pins are 40mm pins, and a bit of Type 1-3, and that will do it. And putting on the face now. All done. And cutting the roof now out of some 3/4 ply I had. A bit heavy, but I had it, so I'm going to use it. Because, as you know, materials are so damn expensive nowadays. You use anything that you've got. Again, just slabbing them up. Banding over the corners now for the outside. And I've already cut the miter on them too. So they're all done. And just rounding over the edges, just to give them a bit of a tactile feel. That's how they're going to sit. I've got the birdhouse together, the bottom birdhouse anyway. We've got the roof all set up now, but I can't fix it on because I was thinking how I'm going to join all these together. I don't think glue's going to do it. If I glue all the roofs on, I can't get in there to do anything. So I'm going to leave the roof off. And now I'll put this one aside now for a while, and I'll concentrate on the other 4, the stackable ones. They're all going to be the same as this, except that they'll have the big V cut out of the bottom, so they'll sit on top of each other. So we'll do the next 4 with the V cut out up to this stage, and I'll make the roofs too, but I can't put them on either. But I'm going to paint them all, and then I'm going to start at the bottom. And then I'll screw the second one into the roof of the first one. Then I'll put the roof on the second one, and then do the same and work my way up the chain. That way, I've got a mechanical fixing on all the birdhouses. The glue's not going to let go after a year or so, and they drop. I think I'll do it that way. Yeah. Okay, just getting a bit of a production line going now on the ends. And then turning them over and doing the other side. All done. Cutting out the V now, which is actually a square. It's a parallel to the roof. Again, don't cut all the way. And finishing them off on the bandsaw. There you go, guys. I've got all my components made now, and there's a lot of them. But there's 4 of these to be put together. I've cut the holes out, I've done the perches. They go in there like that. It's a matter of doing things in order. That's why I've got fixing rails for the top of each box, so I can screw the roofs down. Then once I screw the roofs down, the next box will cover the screws. And I'll work my way up from there until it gets to the top. This is going to be fairly weighty, guys. So I've cut a timber top beam for the top birdhouse to go in. And that's timber. I've cut a top pinnacle, a chain holder, that's going to be screwed all the way through the top and into this timber. Which is going to be nailed, glued and nailed through the sides. So it can't move. So all the weight is locked in together, if you know my drift. Again, I don't explain things well. So just follow along as I do it. So the first trick is to put these 4 bottom birdhouses partly together. Just using a bit of glue and pinning them together. Here he is, guys. Make sure you got the angles right. And putting the face on now. And putting on the bottom fixing rail. I can't put on the top ones till after I paint, but I can put on the bottom ones. Same as everything else, just glue and nail, that'll be right. I've got them all together, ready to undercoat. Bloody tall though, aren't they? They're, as it stands, they're 850 high. And by the time I put the roofs on, it's another 4 inches almost. So that's over 900, that's 950. That might be a little bit too high. Instead of using 5, I might take 1 off. I might use 4, I think. And that way I save on a bit of weight too, but they'll get pretty heavy with the roofs on. And they've got to hang off a chain, remember? So you might use 4. I'll keep this one as a spare, I'm sure I use it, as I do. Yeah. Okay, so the next trick is we undercut everything. And then we've got to pick our colours. I take you over to my spray can collection now. Damn. Up on top of the cabinet here is my spray can collection. And I've got a lot of cans, guys. There's about 40 in the row, and the 5 rows deep. So that's 40, that's 200 cans. And they're almost $10 a can. They're like $7, $8, $9, $10 a can. That's over $1,500 in spray cans. I'm an idiot. No, I'm not. I still use them in my art a little bit. And I'm a colour guy. I like colour. As you see around my shop, I got art and I got bits of colour everywhere. So the spray cans suit my personality. But a lot of them are almost empty or empty because I've used them up and they've got a little bit left in them. I might use it one day to put them back. But I'll go through them and they're the colours they're going to spray the birdhouses up with. Let's do it, guys. Just undercoating now, undercoating all the birdhouses. Just with a water-based paint. Just brushing on. And here I am spraying one of the birdhouses, the red one. See how deep red the paint is? Because it's actually the paint graffiti artists use. It's very heavily pigmented. And just letting them to dry. On my other birdhouse above your head there. Hanging from the carport, as I do. If I'm running out of room. It's a new day, guys. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, looks pretty good down to the dry. Dry enough to work with. It's a new day, guys. And they're all painted and dried now. And they're ready for the fun part. To be assembled. To be all stacked up high. But we can't glue them because the glue won't hold to the painted surface. So we've got to mechanically fix them. I've still got a few fixing rails to put in. Up the top, I wanted to wait till they're painted first because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get in there to paint. So I've got a few of them to put in. And then we'll just start at the bottom and we'll work our way up. And we'll screw the roofs on as we go to the fixing rails. And that will hold the weight. And then the next house will cover the screws. And we'll work our way up to the top. I think that will work. That will hide all the screws. Alright, just screwing the first roof on now. Put 4 screws in each side of the roof. Hold the weight. Pretty easy. Yeah, it looks good then. And here's the second one going on now. Here's my extra long bit to hold the screws. Might go for the bottom rail. It's a magnetic bit too, which is good. Holds the screw really well. Put one on each corner first, and then finish it off. And just pinning on the next roof. A couple of pins just to hold it while before I screw it. And here's the other half, just set it all up. A couple of pins to hold it before I screw it. We're getting there now, guys. I got all the boxes on, a little bit heavy. And I've got to do the final 2 roofs. But on the top box, I put a timber, a fairly chunky bit of timber, but that's what's going to take all the weight. Because the roofs are just going to be nailed on. There's going to be no screws in the roofs, but they're just decorative. All the weight's going to be taken up by this chain anchor. It's going to go on top again and be screwed through the roof and into the timber. So all the weight's going to be taken by the timber. And that should work, I hope. Pretty sure it will. We're all done. The colourful birdhouse condominium. Who'd want to live in this high rise? Any bird would. Any bird would. 8 different colours. It's just something else, guys, isn't it? It's just something else. The birdhouse condominium. This was a lot of fun to make, guys. Most of my birdhouses are a lot of fun to make, but this one stood out, guys. And if you had this in your garden, it would stand out big time, wouldn't it? Look at that. The birdhouse condominium. All right, guys. Thanks for being with me today. And please join me next time, where we'll be making another birdhouse, probably. Maybe even a colourful one, maybe a white one. I don't know. And as you know, guys, I like making unusual, so I will continue to make unusual birdhouses. The birdhouse condominium, guys. See you next time.